Today I thought I would do another Fallout 76 vlog on how to price your items in your vendors to sell. Now, if you're wondering how to get caps to begin with, I'm actually going to work on another vlog. I'm not sure if it'll be up before this one or after this one, but how I basically get caps, and I'm never running out of caps. I see people complaining about that all the time, so I decided to do a whole other vlog on that. I decided to do a vlog today on how to price things in your vendors to sell, because I'm not here to hoard stuff. I'm not here to try to get a ton of caps from everybody, because honestly I don't rely on my vendors at all for caps. That's just like extra, because if you rely on your vendors, you got to wait for people to come to your vault, find your vendors, and actually buy something from you, and that's just a lot of steps. So to me, I'm like, this is just extra cash, because you figure you're not using this stuff anyway. That's why it's in your machines, right? So I'm going to kind of show you guys what I sell my stuff at, and kind of maybe talk about why I sell the things that I sell. So here we go. We're going to go over to my thing, and please ignore the backpack. That is not my normal backpack, but as you know, it's the BOS backpack thing going on, so I just leave it on, because otherwise I would 100% forget to change my backpack. So here we are. I only have 76 of my slots used, because somebody actually came through and bought a ton of stuff the other day, but we're just going to work right on down the line here. So for my pews, you'll see here that I have 3-star legendaries, and they're all the same price. I always sell them for 1,000 caps, but I'm not actually putting there with the intent to sell. I know that sounds weird, but what happens is, especially when you go to Murga or whatever, you go to the Rusty Pick and the Purveyor, and she always gives you like crap loadout crap things. At least maybe that's for me. I've gotten like 2, maybe 3 things from her ever that actually is worth something. So you have all of this weight, basically, because you can only script 150 things for the day in a legendary machine. I just put them in my machine. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put them there. 3 stars are 1,000. I think I do 2 stars for 500 and like a 1 star for 2. I do put them in my machine, because otherwise they're just sitting in my box waiting to be scripted. And at 3-star legendaries, pews are like 40 scripts, so you could only do like 3 in a day anyway. So I do put them in my machine. I might have to move out of this guy's way. There's 2 machines. They'll figure it out. So I put them in here because they might sell. And honestly, I have sold a couple of random items. I have sold them before that people just happen upon them. Like junkies were pretty popular. And I think I sold a couple of fixers. I sold one weapon that I accidentally purchased from somebody else's vendor, and it was like a lot of caps. And I was like, well, I'm not going to recoup all my caps. But anyway, I recouped the majority of them. Anyway, so I put my legendaries in here just because you never know. Somebody might be coming along, especially since we've got a lot of new players lately. They might see something they want, try it out, whatever. I know a lot of other people are price theirs a little bit higher, and if you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm just saying, this is what I do. And I don't think I have anything that's not a 3-star. I think I just have because all the rest of that's not for sale. So that's what I do. And if they sell, they sell. If not, then when I'm down to script my legendary, I go, oh, okay, I can script this for the day. I just go over and I find one that I'm like, oh, this doesn't really sell. You know, like maybe a pipe pistol or something. Then I trade those in. So armor, as you see, I don't have any armor that I'm selling. I tend not to sell armor because people tend not to buy armor. Just is. Like, it's pretty much like once you get the set of armor that you want, unless something new and special comes out and you're like working for that, you're not really buying armor. Maybe that's just me and my friends' experience, but honestly, that's kind of it. So I don't put armor in my machine unless it's the same legendary thing that I just talked about. Like, if I've just got a lot of it, I might throw some in there. And armor pricing is definitely going to be cheaper, probably more like 800 for a 3-star and like 400. You know, it's like half the 400 for 2-star, and then like a 100 for a 100 or 200 for a 1-star, so something similar to that. But I tend to not sell armor because it tends to not sell. For the weps and the armor, if it's not legendary, it's not going to sell. I'm just saying right now, unless it's some specific thing, but I can't even think of any off the top of my head that aren't legendary. They're not going to sell. So if you go in here, like if I was to put this studded strengthened leather left arm in there, even for like 1 cap, nobody's going to buy it unless there's like a weekly where you have to like repair armor. Somebody, because if you see this one is like half the condition, so somebody may just be like, oh, I'll buy that, repair it for the thing. But honestly, that's far and few between. I would never waste a slot in my machine for something that's non-legendary. Just going to say that right here, because I see a lot of times people selling non-legendary stuff in their machine, and it's just taking up space because nobody's going to buy that. Now, apparel is interesting. As you can see, I just have a handful of things in here. I actually have to go through my machine, my stash and put some more stuff in here. But I'll sell apparel if it's more like rare stuff, because you don't want to sell things like red dress, tattered dress. Like nobody's gonna buy that, right? Unless it becomes one of those mythical items. Like everybody's got the white wolf fedora. I'm like, I was around after that, so I don't know what the story is behind that. I do have one, but anyway, so I do put some in my machine, and I have sold like some of these hats. I have sold. Now, if you're wondering why the Asylum Worker red hat is up higher than the rest, it's because it is a rare drop. The dress is even rarer. So I would say for some of the stuff, you might have to look it up and see if it's rare. If you're wanting to recoup that price, if you're like, I don't really care, I just happen upon it and I just want to sell it for whatever you want to sell it for. But the machines are always going to either undercut you or overcut you, which is why I never go by machine pricing, ever. So I just kind of put these in here. I might actually lower some of these other ones. I know the forest and the red are a little more rare. I might actually just lower some of them. And I feel like things too where that maybe it used to be kind of rare are now not. So I might actually like lower the price. And that's the other thing too. With apparel, it's kind of hit or miss unless it's like a rare item. So I just kind of see what sells. Like these Western outfits and the chaps, they sell all the time. But if something's not selling, you can always adjust the price. You know, knock 100 caps off of it, whatever. And I will sell things like from past events, like the tulip sky blue pantsuit and like the Jaguar pantsuit from like the holiday events and all that. I'll put those in there, but honestly, like with that stuff and like the Fosnacht and all that, somebody actually came through and bought all of my Fosnacht stuff now that I look at it, because I had a whole bunch of crap in there. But that stuff I kind of wait because the market was so saturated, like everybody had it. So I was like, well, let me just wait a little while. Like I might start putting some more stuff in here because we've had a bunch of new players that maybe missed out on it. So you gotta think about that too. If we just had a Fosnacht run, you're not gonna sell anything, like any of the common stuff in your vendors. I just hold on to it and put it later, unless you're willing to use a slot. Like if you have nothing in your machines, then feel free. Food and drink, as you see, I don't sell any food and drink really. I did put like a Nuka-Cola orange in there, and I do have the Nuka-Cola bot at my other camp that does scrap and Nuka-Colas. So I will put some Nuka-Colas in there because I don't think I have it up here, but yeah, as you can see, I have a ton of Nuka-Colas. I have 44, so I could totally put them in there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put some in there for, I'm going to put like half of them in there. Let's put like 20 in there for, oops, my bad. Let's put 20 in there for 10 caps each. Actually, that one I'm going to keep at 10 caps. I did have like 25 or something in there the other day, and somebody bought them all. I think I might have sold them for 5 caps each, but I think they're 10. I don't really sell food or drink because unless it's something like a Nuka-Cola or like a specific something like the specific Nuka-Colas or whatever, like nobody's gonna buy it. The only thing I will say with a little asterisk on that one is if there is a weekly challenge where you need to like drink 25 alcohols or 25 Nuka-Colas or whatever, if you notice that that's a challenge, if you have a bunch in your inventory, then maybe put them in there for a few caps or even 5 caps each, because there are going to be plenty of people who did not do that, and it is a pain in the neck to walk around the world finding them, and they might just buy you out. Which that's what I had happen with the Nuka-Colas. I just put them in my machine, and somebody who didn't have the machine yet just bought them out. So moving right along to aid. I don't have as much in here right now, but I do sell meds, and they sell very quickly. I price all of mine at 15 caps. I have been known to go down to 10 if I've got like an overabundance of something, but I price them all at 15, and I sell all the time. I sell them all the time. All the buff outs, all that stuff. They sell super quick because there's a lot of junkies built out there. There's a lot of people who want those. So definitely make sure if you're seeing the meds and stuff out in the world, pick them up, throw them in your machine, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to sell. I do have a few nuclear key cards in here. I might actually lower the price. I know a lot of people tend to sell them more for like 1,000 caps or 800 caps or this or that, and I try to sell mine lower because if you see, I still have 19 in my inventory. I just don't. I just luck out. I'm in a world where there's usually something being dropped, so I don't have to worry about it. And I just got so many, and they weigh like a pound each or something crazy. Yeah, so I'm like, I'll just put some in there. So I may end up actually lowering that because, again, I'm pricing things to sell. This is stuff that I didn't want. Now, unless it's like a rare item that I happen to get from an event, which as I've been talking to you about, then like this is stuff I don't need, so I might as well just sell it. Holotapes, obviously, I don't sell those. Notes. This is the one where people are like, well, you're doing what? So if you look here, my pricing looks kind of weird, right? Because you're like, why is everything, like, aside from a few random ones, why is everything a cap? Because I sell all my plans for a cap. It's true. This one was more, the Mole Miner Gauntlet for 0 caps is more of a social experiment. I put them in there for 0 caps to see if anybody would take them. Mope. It's been in there for months. All of these have been in there for months, and nobody has taken them. So I just think that's really funny. But if it's a plan, like the small letter set usually goes for 1,000 caps, I put it up there for 500. You know, Super Reactor is a more rare plan. If it's a rarer plan, I will try to price it accordingly. I'll kind of see what other people are selling it for in their vendors, because some people vastly overprice their things. So like the Asylum Light came from a Daily Ops drop, and it is not a rare drop, but it's not a common drop. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. And these usually go for like 1,000, 1,200 caps. Again, I'm just trying to get rid of stuff out of my inventory. I'm not trying to recoup anything. And some of this stuff you get all the time. Like all this stuff. Bathroom toilet, cigarette machine, like all this stuff, you get it all the time. And I have a lot of people that come through because they're lower level and they've never, or even mid, like level 80, and they don't come across any of this stuff. So they sit there and they literally buy me out. And I mean, yeah, I may make like 25 caps, but whatever. Somebody else needed them. And if it's a higher level player just buying them to resell them, that's on them. I'm just trying to get rid of it. So as you can see, things like the Emmett Mountain disposal signs, I could actually probably lower that because those are so common. Actually, I'm going to do that right now while I'm talking to you guys. Because it's such a common drop from Daily Ops, I'm just going to lower it because I feel like everybody's got 28 copies of that by now. I'm trying to see if there's any more down here. And I will say too, there's somebody wandering around. I will say too that I do sell out of plans rather quickly. Because you get, like I said, you get these all the time. Like the little like household ones, you get them all the time. So you just sell them at a cap. Like I said, some people sell them for 5 caps because they're like 5 caps is still a good deal. I could do 5 caps as well, but I don't know, a cap. Because my thing is I try to give back to people because so much was given to me when I first started playing that I feel like this is my way to kind of give back. And sometimes I will put stuff at 0 caps and just let people buy it. And I've seen other people do that too. And I do sell these as well, these treasure maps. I always put mine at 20 caps and people always buy them. So I just actually put these in here, I think, like last night. And there's always people buying treasure maps. And junk, I tend, as you can see, there's no little sale thing here. I tend to not sell junk, but I know there's a lot of people who do have a lot of good luck selling junk because people are always needing it. I happen to have Fallout first, so I always have a lot of stuff in my scrap box, but there's still things that I run out of. So I can totally see if you sell, why is that in there? Some of this stuff, I have no idea why it's even in my junk. Anyway, I'm just going to move that out. So I can see why a lot of people do sell it. You can bundle it together and sell it that way, however you want to sell it. But again, if you're just trying to get rid of it, if you're like, look, this stuff is bogging down my inventory, I don't have Fallout first, I don't have the availability for the scrap box, I just want to get rid of it, but I maybe want to get a little something for it, then price it to sell. Don't try to sit there and go, well, I could probably sell this for 5,000 caps because somebody might not buy it. It's like that Beauty and the Beast VHS tape that was circling around. It's saying, oh, this is worth $5,000 or $25,000. Like, yeah, but only if somebody's willing to pay it. I don't think I'm going to show that on the screen, but literally I was sitting here talking to you guys and somebody came and bought one of the Legendaries. If I can blur out the name, I'll just let it show on the screen, but yeah, somebody just came and bought one of the Legendary weapons. I actually had somebody come through and buy something before. They didn't like the weapon and they left it on the floor. They were just like, here, you can have it back. I'm like, well, you can just take it and sell it or script it. They're like, no, you can just have it back. Okay. I don't tend to sell mods because I don't personally use mods. I'm actually going to go sell that one here in a minute. I don't use mods, but if you want to sell them, go for it. I don't think I'd probably sell them for more than 10 caps. Again, trying to get stuff out of your inventory. I've never personally reached for a mod, but I know some people do. This section, I price everything at a cap. 1 cap. If you sell this stuff for more than a cap each, you're an arse. Because nobody's going to buy it. See, somebody else just is buying all my treasure maps right now. They sell. I'm telling you, I think it's really funny. And maybe I'll probably try to like leave it up there and maybe I can blur out the names or something. But like people are buying stuff while I'm literally sitting here. And I actually intended to be in a private world today. Anyway, so this stuff, yeah, all 1 cap each. Now, the problem with this kind of stuff is a lot of this stuff, it might not move. Because a lot of like 44s, people don't tend to use that. These shells, people tend to not use it unless they're low level because those pews become ineffective the higher you get. So sometimes you'll get people buying stuff, sometimes you won't. I wait until they reach like 1,000. If I get like that high, like this one, like these two, I might actually take upstairs and put in the machine that you can trade it in. And then it just starts back over because you're honestly picking up all this stuff all the time. So anything that you don't use, I put over here. So I'm going to add like this right now. So all of them, bam. So if you use it, obviously keep it. Unless you have so much of it, then like if I had like 20,000 rounds of the 45s. Like maybe I'll sell like a couple, like 2,000 in there for a cap each. And I've gone to people's vending machines and they've had an exuberant amount of the kind that I use, and I've bought it out. So this stuff will sell. I have put, like I said, I have put like the 5 before in there, and I put the 50 in there before I had my second loadout, before we did all the secondary loadouts, and that one's like heavy pews, so I hold on to the stuff now. But before, it would sell so quickly. Now, the things that for me didn't sell were like the plasma cores, because I felt like nobody was using them, and I made more like 10 caps, and like nobody was really buying them. I ended up needing them for a pew anyway, so I just took them out of my thing. 1 cap each. Doesn't need to be more than that. So that is what I have all of my stuff priced at. If you guys do different pricing, or you have any suggestions for maybe the stuff that I don't sell, quite like mods and junk and all of that, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know. If you guys even have your own video and you have that stuff pricing, feel free to leave it below, because we're all trying to help each other out here. So if you have any questions, also let me know below, or I have my social media. You can also reach out to me on there, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!